Hello, this is James Lowrie. For this next Pivot interview, I'll be talking with Pierre-Luc Senécal about his new composition, Études Mentor, which Procoro will be premiering on May 15th.
My name is Pierre-Luc Senécal. I'm 31 years old. I live in Montreal, Canada. My practice mostly revolves around electroacoustic music. I have a master's degree in composition from Université de Montréal. I also have an undergraduate and a college degree, all of which revolved around contemporary music, but with a specialty in electroacoustic music, music for computers. Ever since I finished my master's degree, I've been focusing mostly in integrating that approach, that electroacoustic approach to instruments. So I've been creating mixed music for a variety of unusual instruments. The most famous, I'd like to say the most famous instrument I've composed for is Growler's Choir, which is the ensemble I created 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, which is an ensemble of heavy metal vocalists. So it's the only choir in the world made solely of heavy metal singers. So that's one kind of ensemble I've created and that I've been composing for. I've also written for Onde Marteneau. I'm currently working with Jean-François Laporte, who is quite known in Montreal for his new instruments that he created, new wind instruments, such as La Table de Babel, which can translate to the Babel table. I have a pretty wide-ranging practice. I've also composed for choreographers, for theater, and the piece I wrote for Pivot, the Pivot mentorship program, is Études Mentor, which is an acoustic piece for mixed choir.
So, are you bringing any of that heavy metal spirit or anything else to this piece? What's the piece going to sound like?
The piece is not at all inspired from metal, although I see it eventually as being having elements of growling. I see that kind of piece turning into a double choir piece, which is something I did in the past. I wrote a piece called The Day King, which is the first piece for Growler's Choir composed, which is a mixed piece. And in June 2021, I presented it in concert for dual choir, so a Growler's Choir and a classical choir. And Études Mentor, which would be is kind of the first phase of a piece that would be called Gorge Mentor, but Études Mentor is just for choir, and Gorge Mentor would be for dual choir. So back to Études Mentor. So I know it's quite complex, it's quite rich. Études Mentor is mostly focused on the transition between noise and singing, I'd say. So I'm very interested in voice. I'm very interested in vocal techniques. I'm very interested in noise. I've performed with the Joanne Itsu's choir called Joker, which is a noise choir. And I was interested in seeing how through writing it could indicate to singers how they could transition from noisy sounds to actually singing. So it's quite playful, it's quite experimental, it goes in a lot of directions. There's some overtone singing, um, there's some contemporary choral music. I see it as a kind of sonic parkour that prehistorical men and women might have done to go from babbling to actually speaking and formulating language.
That's cool. I'm excited to hear it. Tell me about your mentorship with Sabrina Schroeder. How did that go? Um,
It went really well. Sabrina, I mean, is a great composer. She's a fantastic teacher, and because I have little experience writing for instrument, I came to this project with a lot more anxiety, a lot more insecurities, and she really helped me um, go through that process of gaining confidence, and she gave me a lot of useful tips. And I thought it was I actually went over my notes when I composed The Day King in June 2021, and um, a lot of the reflection I had back then went into composing Études mentales. I didn't know of it, but those problematics, compositional problematics I had, were still very much relevant when I did Études mentales. And Sabrina brought back those problematics and helped me go over them in a way. So it was very didactic, very fulfilling. Was considerably enriched by the mentorship with her.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, well, I think that's pretty much all of our time for today, but I'm excited to hear your piece on May the 15th, I believe, with Procoro, and hope to see you then. That's it for today. Come back tomorrow for the next Pivot interview. Get tickets for Before the West in the link in our video description. Goodbye.